Everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of the Bachelor finale and part one of the final after the final rose, whatever.
Alright, so we gotta start by giving a shout out to our good friends Knipsx.
Yay!
What's up?
Alright, so it's all down to Molly and Melissa.
So yeah, they're still down in New Zealand, and he's gonna let Ty decide.
Not really.
No. Alright, so first date is with Melissa. They're going to play golf.
The three of them, yeah. And Melissa's all like joking around with Ty. It was totally natural.
Yeah, she really is good with kids. There's no getting around it. She is a natural. She's telling him jokes, even though they were cheesy as hell. He was like, oh
he's
yeah.
like 3.
Yeah.
You can get away with that when he's 3.
Yeah. Then Jason's like, stay with Melissa. I gotta go get something. So he runs and gets this freaking lamb on a leash.
Alright.
And, you know, I guess it's New Zealand. There's lambs on leash everywhere.
It probably wasn't even planned. I bet he just saw it and grabbed it.
Who was it?
I don't know. But anyway, Ty named it Sheep. And he's like, I wanted to talk.
Get your hand away from its mouth. That thing could, like, take your finger off. I know. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, make it talk, daddy. So he couldn't, of course.
Nah.
So they all started going like, bah. What was up with that?
I don't know.
Melissa meets his family after he tucks Ty in for a little nappy.
Yeah. And they grill her. And she's like, I'm in love with Jason, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, he's been hurt a few times before. You know, first by his ex-wife and then by DeAnna. So they just want to make sure that he's not making a stupid mistake again.
You could really tell that was his family because just like Jason, why didn't your parents want to meet him?
Again and again. They would just, ad infinitum.
I'm surprised Ty didn't ask her.
I know.
Why
what was
didn't your
wrong?
parents want to meet my daddy?
That was just ridiculous. And of course, Ty, like we said, liked Melissa. And she liked him.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason has to pull out the, I'm falling completely in love with Melissa. Oh yes, he did.
He did.
So now it's time for Molly's date.
Yes.
And Ty, being the smart, discerning child that he is, did not want anything to do with Molly in the beginning.
Yeah. And it really seemed like Jason was trying to, like, convince himself that
Ty was just being shy.
Yeah.
And
he was like, oh, they love each other. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. He did not want anything to do with Molly because, let's face it, she's a little scary.
It really looked like things were gelling, but Jason was like, oh, it was great. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Molly loves golf. Melissa doesn't.
Yeah.
So another nap for Ty because it's time for Molly to meet his family.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it really did not seem like it was going well. There was a lot of awkward silences and tension going on there. And she came out with, I've had the wild party phase longer than I should have.
All right.
So,
but now I have a career, and I'm career-oriented, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so I'll just not be able to spend that much time with Ty.
Or Jason.
Because my career comes first.
Yeah.
And I could have a career up in Seattle. You just watch and see.
So then Jason's all, oh, I can see a life being married to, like, either one of them, blah, blah.
Right, yes, but she pulled out the, I'm thinking I love you.
Wow, that's really sincere.
I know. So, in the interim, Melissa gets on the horn and calls her parents and practically begs them to talk to Jason, at least. Just talk to him.
On the phone. So
Yes.
they agree.
Right.
And it's time for Melissa's last chance date.
They go on a little boat trip.
But it was pouring.
And she looked pretty freezing. I don't think she was dressed properly.
Yeah.
She had on this little, like, terry cloth sundress with, like, her suit underneath. And they did something pretty stupid. They went swimming in the very ice-cold water.
While it was raining.
Yes.
Could have started thundering and lightning any second, and they would have been
dead.
It
was probably the angels crying, say, get the hell away from this guy as fast as you can.
Seriously.
So she tells him that, yeah, my parents agreed to talk to you, so lie down kissing ensues. And Jason pulls out of the bag, I've never felt this way before either. Okay, so that means you can't say the same thing about Molly then.
Correct.
So, it's Molly's last chance date.
And she's all, I'm in control of the situation.
She always has to be in control. Wasn't she the one who pulled out her own fantasy sweet card at the end, too?
This seemed a little planned, though, since they already had the date set up at her place.
Right. So what do? The minute she gets in the door with him, let's get naked. Because it's time for a naked massage.
They didn't really. It was bathing suits.
Or simulated sex with bathing suits. They might as well have done it.
Seriously.
Really. And Molly cooks dinner. She made enough dinner, it looked like, for like 20 people on the table. It was ridiculous.
That was quite a stir fry.
Yeah, it really was. It just keeps going on and on and on. So she's ready to give him that last 1% that she's been holding back.
Which came in the form of a fairy tale love story book that she made.
In other words, she saved all the crap from the show and put it in a book. You know.
I don't know, that was kind of cute.
It was kind of cute, but she's so insincere. I'm sorry.
Really
I'm
she
just
seems
getting
like a robot.
She does. So Jason's in love with 2 women. What is he gonna do? I don't know. I don't think there's any solution for that in the United States of America.
Unless you're on Big Love, what? So, that show looks pretty good. I don't know why we aren't watching it.
I don't know either. Probably not enough time.
Jason calls Melissa's parents and he's like, oh, it's so nice to talk to you, blah, blah, blah.
Finally, closure. He can't open his yap about not meeting her parents anymore.
Well, I don't know what they're like face to face.
Well, he did see a picture.
Yeah.
Alright, so monkey face DeAnna drops by.
What?
Yeah, she's still got the blinks.
She's like, if you haven't proposed yet, there's still a chance.
Not with him, honey, because he said, no thank you.
Yeah, but she was still like, I chose the wild one, and
I should have went with my head instead of my whatever.
Oh, I don't know. And then she's like, oh, anyone who wouldn't choose you is stupid.
Guess you're stupid, monkey.
Really? Because I think Jesse was better. But anyway.
I did too.
Yeah. Alright.
So it's time to pick out the ring.
There were only like 3 choices.
And they were all fugly.
Yeah, I wasn't
super fugly. So being in love with 2 women sucks.
How many times can you say that?
I don't know. You know, in past seasons, I don't remember the guys falling head over heels in love with the final 2. It was like, yeah, I really love you, and yeah, okay, I kind of love you.
Like, they play it off like they like both equally, but,
right. You know it's not. So Ty got up and he got all dressed. He had his little, Lord Fauntleroy shirt on with the little bow tie and all that. And it's time for the final rose.
All right.
But I'm thinking the twist might be that Ty gets to propose to one of the ladies, too. It wasn't, though. It was a big day. You're a man now.
So, final rose. Molly showed up first, so I was like, I don't know. And,
he totally dumps her ass.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about, so we gotta keep it moving. He dumped her.
Yeah. She didn't understand. Obviously, she hasn't seen the show before.
You can't pick both.
Exactly.
You're the loser.
And, she told him that he was making a huge mistake because he deserves somebody really special.
Thanks for dissing Melissa.
I know.
Okay.
So, Jason feels really bad, and he sobs like a 2-year-old titty baby. It was really something to
sorry,
see.
I have to pull out schoolboy bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty fitting.
Yeah.
Alright, so Melissa arrives. And he's completely in love with her, and he couldn't shut up about it, and he's swinging her around, and he's like, yo, Ty, come out.
Well, first he proposes, and she's like, ah.
Yes. Give me a minute. Ah! Okay. Then, this was totally unnecessary. They all jump in the pool in their fancy dress clothes.
So it was all like, oh, happy ending, yay.
Yeah.
But you knew there was doom lurking.
Yeah, you just know it, because they cannot shut their mouths on ABC TV. They give away the ending every single time. Alright. And apparently, the crew can't keep their mouths shut either, because in After the Final Rose, even though there was no audience on the set, this has been leaked on the internet for weeks now.
For real.
So it's supposed to be 6 weeks later. Jason comes out first.
And he's like all somber, and you're like, oh shiz.
Yeah, he's all heavy heart, and he's like, Chris, I made a mistake.
what? And he was like, Melissa's wrong for me. It's not the same.
My life sucks because I can't stand her.
That's basically what he said, and it's kind of like, what the F?
The camera stopped rolling and everything's different. I hate her, and I'm going to dump her ass on television because I hate her so much.
Well, he didn't say that, but...
He meant it.
It was kind of weird.
And yeah, then he pulls out of the bag, I can't stop thinking about Molly.
And supposedly, he hasn't talked to her at all.
I don't believe that for a second.
I know.
Not one hot second do I believe that. So, he says he's going to dump Melissa, and sure enough, he does.
I feel so bad for her.
I do too, because she is a class act, and he is a bastard, as she called him.
Which he deserved.
Yeah, and she tells him, you know...
Well, first she gives back the ring.
Right, the ugly, ugly ring. That thing was hideous, I'm sorry. And she says, don't call me, don't text me, leave me the hell alone.
And it was kind of suspicious because she was like, have you been lying to me?
Yeah.
So it seems like something happened. It wasn't just like, oh, it's different.
Yeah. I have a feeling he was talking to Molly. She was all making him feel guilty, and he couldn't stop feeling guilty, so he had to invent this crap that, you know, we've changed.
I don't think so.
Because she still liked you.
Exactly the same.
Yes. And, Chris Harrison is talking to Jason alone then after they bring the limo around for Melissa. They really love limos on this show. Because that guy's got to get paid, Javier. And yeah, he cries on Chris Harrison's shoulder. I think he's feeling guilty.
I've never lied to her.
And I haven't spoken to Molly. Alright, so bring out Molly alone first.
She's like, I'm okay, it's hard, bye.
It was the worst week in my life after I got back from New Zealand because I cried the whole week.
Alright,
yeah.
So, she's like, I get to watch him every Monday when the show is on.
It's so cool. I love seeing him. So
then Chris Harrison's setting it up, and he's like, well, if he ever said that he wanted you back...
What? I've been dreaming about stuff like that. I can't even imagine that would happen. So, bring out Jason. And she has questions for him. She asks him, you know, when did you know that you were going to pick Melissa over me? Because we had a pretty rockin' evening, honey. If the vans are rockin', don't come a-knockin'.
So, he pretty much avoided the question and was like, okay, me and Melissa just broke up, so...
And she was like, what? Is this real? And yeah, like she did not know that was going to happen. That's total BS. So, how about a drink? Want to go out for a drink?
So she was all like,
yeah, I know.
The whole time. And then they started like freaking making out.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious as they were walking off the set. He totally like grabbed her
They're
and
about
like
to do it.
pretty much. So
awkward for Chris Harrison who had to sit there.
Well, Chris, we still have a lot to talk about, but Jason, yes. Okay, I'll be your second bitch. So, next on The Bachelor, they had to pull out an extra episode because they had a little spot in the schedule to fill. Tomorrow night, a 1-hour special, The Bachelor After the Final Rose, Part 2. Oh. Yeah, I know we can't miss it. Like, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be like, oh, Melissa was so wrong for me, and now I have Molly, and my life is complete. Until 6 weeks later when he dumps her ass. And don't forget to watch him on Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure it's going to be on the internet if you missed the live broadcast. So, kids, till tomorrow night, much love.